Ka. um, for Kim's question, she asked, what would I change about the way music is taught in the United States? Hence the flag. um, and I think, kind of like the obvious answer here is, I would change how it's not funded in schools, and it's not like every school teaches English and math and science and some form of like history or like a social science. And a lot of schools, like, we take it for granted. A lot of schools are really lucky to have music and art programs. And while, like, I'm not really going to talk about art today because I really only have about 2 to 5 minutes, um, I think it is necessary that music is taught in schools. There's so much research proving that science is just overall better for children to learn with, and it helps with concentration and memory and just like functional skills in general. So I don't think children can like get harm from learning music either in a general music class where they're learning maybe about the history of music and playing music themed games, and maybe like as a class learning like guitar or like the recorder, heaven forbid. um, but it's even nicer to see schools like my school was lucky enough we had choir and like different levels of choir, band, same thing, different levels, orchestra, same. We had a marching band, we had music theory 1, 2, and AP music theory, and then music tech 1 and music tech 2. Oh, and we had a guitar class if you wanted to learn how to play guitar. And I'm pretty sure that was it. I might be missing something. But like even still, like our music program didn't have that much money. And we perform musicals too. Sorry. But like our music program didn't have like that much money. A lot of our money was gotten through the music boosters or through the marching band that raised a lot of money. But for the most part, like it didn't cost that much. A lot of things that schools are afraid of is hiring the faculty to teach it, because like a choir, like what are you paying for? Kids to stand around in a classroom, like, and the music, I suppose the music isn't necessarily cheap, but also most sheet music's like $1.95 for at least choir music. Like, it's not that big of an expense, but the idea is paying a salary for another teacher to be in this school to teach a class that's not considered necessary. Which, honestly, I'm not an English major. English wasn't necessarily necessary for me to take in high school. However, I feel like I really benefited from it. I think I'm a better writer because of it. I love the teachers that I have. I love the material that I learned. Same thing goes for my my APUSH class, which was like AP US History. I found it incredibly interesting to learn about the history of my country that I live in, and like the way it like formed and has come to be the country it is today. I found that extremely interesting. Was it necessary? Am I ever really going to use that information again? Probably not, but it's nice to know on like a daily level of like, oh, you're referencing the Revolutionary War. Or, like stuff like that. Like it's not mandatory, but it's important to know. It was up to me, I would have never taken chemistry because I'm never going to use that, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't feel like I personally benefited from it because I don't remember any of it because I didn't like it, so it didn't stick with me. I know a couple things, like I know bits and pieces of the periodic table, and that certain things can't mix together or else bad things will happen. But still, that was incredibly vague. That's about as much as I know. So I think with that in mind, some kids are going to look at music the way that I looked at English. Was maybe it wasn't my career path, but it really helped me throughout my high school, and it's going to help me in my future because of this. Or because I now have better memory skills because of doing music in high school. Or now I have some of the best friends of my life because of marching band. Or because of the choir I was in. Helped me learn leadership skills when I was president my junior year. Different things like that. I think it's incredibly beneficial. And my last point with that is I think it needs to be viewed the same way that athletics are in school, and should be funded the same way, because I don't think musicians and artists and kids that aren't necessarily athletic should be viewed as less valuable students to a school. And that's not fair that kids are getting scholarships to colleges because they're worth more to the school than a musician or an artist would be, because they can contribute just as much to the population of the campus that an athlete could. So, yeah, that's all I got on that topic. Sorry, a bit of a rant. But thanks, Kim. Good question.